Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be talking about my implant experience. I've had my implant for nearly 5 years now, so it's a long time, and I definitely feel that I have enough experience to talk about it. I wanted to talk about things that I experienced from when I got it to now, if things have changed and so forth. And I've had it for a long time, so obviously it's worked for me, but I know that it doesn't work for everybody, and so it's just, you know, lucky dip, I guess. I actually didn't know about the implant until one of my friends at school, she just had hers put in, inserted, whatever, and so I didn't even know about it, but I asked her about it, what it was, because she had quite a bit of bruising on her arm and she had a bandage on it. So I asked her what had happened. She told me that she got the implant, she told me about it, and so that's when I first heard about the implant. I'm going to talk about the insertion process. So basically you go in and you lie down on a bed sort of thing, you prop up your arm. They usually put the implant in the arm that you don't write with, so I'm right-handed, and so it's in my left arm. So I'll show you about whereabouts they put it. So you lie down and you put your arm like this, and then what the doctor does is puts a anaesthetic in your arm in sort of like a line motion. So they put the needle in and then they insert some anaesthetic and then move up until the needle comes out. And that's because the implant is pretty much like a matchstick, and so they want it numb the whole area. And then they whip out this huge needle, and by huge I mean seriously huge. I don't think I've seen a needle bigger than that. It was about at least 2 millimeters to 2.5 millimeters wide, which is pretty darn big. You can't feel anything when the needle's going in. Even though it's huge, you don't feel it because you are numbed up in that area. And it takes, what, maybe 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes for the whole process. Maybe even shorter time, it just depends how much your doctor talks about it beforehand. First year of my implant, I did have side effects. I had pretty much constant periods. My periods would last for 3 weeks and up. Sometimes they would last over a month, and it was kind of crazy really to have a period that long. And I had that for about a year. I wasn't constantly on a period, so I did have times when I wasn't, but it literally felt like I was always on my period. About after a year and a half later, it started chilling out. My body started chilling out. And I still did get periods, but not as long as they were in the beginning. And then my periods sort of turned into nothing. So I have not had a period. This year I have had a period maybe once, and it's not even a proper period. It was like a few days, and it was brown spotting, and that is it. So for the past 2-3 years I haven't really had periods. Maybe twice in a year, 3 times, and it's just usually the brown sort of blood that you get at the end of your period. And so that's pretty much the extent of my periods these days. I don't get it at all, but it did take time for my body to settle and get used to it. I didn't really get any of the bad side effects such as nausea, headaches, things like that a lot of women decide not, well, to have the implant removed, because if I got headaches and I felt nauseous all the time, I too would get it removed. But I didn't get any of that, so I guess I was lucky in that sense. Other side effects, I feel like just below my belly, sort of in my pelvis, pubic area, that area is quite a little bit bloated. But the thing is, I don't know whether that is from the implant or whether that's just my natural body. I mean, it's not huge. I don't have this huge pooch or anything, but I just feel like it's a little bit bloated, and it could be from the implant, because the implant is stopping me having periods, and so my body could be reacting to that in a different way by making me look a bit bloated down in my pelvis area. But again, I don't know whether that is from the implant we shall see, because I will be coming off the implant soon. I also felt in the first year that I felt very sleepy. I was always tired, even though I just slept like 8-9 hours. When I wake up and I'd be going to school back then, I would still feel very tired. I'd be tired, I'd be yawning all the time, I wouldn't have energy. So that's, I think, one of the side effects that I got during the first year. I also think that actually I gained a little bit of weight since having the implant in. Just a little bit, nothing too drastic, but I feel like ever since I've had it, I've had a bit more of a pooch on my belly. But again, I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate or if I just, you know, got a pooch on my belly. So yeah, so that's pretty much my side effects. Didn't have anything bad, and that's probably why I'm still here today with the implant in. I have the one called Nexplanon. It might be different in your country. I live in the UK, and this is the one that we get. The implant lasts 3 years. So after my 3rd year, I was adamant I was getting it removed. I was going there with the thought in my mind, I'm getting this removed. I don't need it anymore. I'm not seeing anyone. I don't need it. And so that's what was going in my mind when I walked in there. And then I was at a new doctor for the removal, and the doctor basically told me this whole story about how she believes having a period each month is not natural, and that the way we are created is to be carrying a baby. And so for 9 months you don't have a period, and then you give birth, and essentially you get impregnated again. It sounds crazy because it is, but I kind of saw what she was picking at. So at the time, I was kind of persuaded by her, and I got another one inserted, which was a big mistake. I should have just carried on with the thought in my mind to get it removed, but here we are today, still got it in, nearly on my 5th year. Now let me talk about the removal process, because I had one removed. It took a very long time for mine to be removed, because the first one I got done by a different doctor's practice, and then I got it removed by my current doctor's practice. So there's 2 different doctors involved here, and apparently the first doctor that put my first implant in put it too deep in my arm, and so it took about half an hour for my new doctor to remove the implant. Basically she numbs you up again with the same anaesthetic, and then they get a little scalpel and they cut a small area where your scar would have been from the insertion of the last one, so you don't have scars all over your arm. And so she was trying to pull it, and I could feel it sort of nagging right at the bottom of where the implant would have been. I could feel it snagging, and it was a little bit uncomfortable. It was quite hard to get out, but we eventually, after about half an hour, got it removed, got the next one inserted, but she inserted it a little bit more close to the skin. And I would show you, but I feel like it's a little bit queasy for some people. But it's a lot more closer to the skin. You can pretty much see it if you just feel it. You can feel it right there. You can see it if I mess around with it, which I don't do often. Don't do it if you have an implant. Don't mess around with it, make it poke out of your skin and stuff like that. It's gross and it's not good. And so yeah, I got my second implant inserted. Same sort of process, but easier. And then again, I didn't get any bruising from it. And I'm here today with the implant still in my arm. But I am getting it removed, everybody. I'm getting it removed, and this time I'm 100% getting it removed. I haven't set an actual date or booked a date, but I just want to get my cloth pad stash up a little bit because I don't have that much for a full cycle. I do have a menstrual cup, and I got a menstrual cup because I knew I wouldn't have enough cloth pads to last me a cycle, and so a menstrual cup sort of helps you out because you can wear it on days when maybe you're washing your pads or so forth. And so I got a menstrual cup for that purpose, to help me out because I don't have that many cloth pads. So I want to buy a few more cloth pads, and then I will get it removed and it will be gone for good. The implant is not good for you. It really isn't. It's just terrible for you. It actually damages your bones, and there's probably long-term effects that doctors don't know about, and that we don't know about. So don't get the implant. There are natural methods, which I will be going to, which is fertility awareness method. Definitely check it out. I will do a video on it when I begin my fertility awareness method. I will be doing the temperature method, where you measure your basal temperature in the mornings. But if you want more information on that, definitely search YouTube or search the internet, because there's so much advice out there. And I'm actually going to link a website down that is fantastic for fertility awareness method. And there is a book called Taking Charge of Your Fertility, I believe it's called, and a lot of people, it is the Holy Fertility Bible. I definitely will get it in the future, but it's quite pricey. And I actually found a website that pretty much looks like it has the same exact information in it. And I will link it down below because it's a fantastic site. It comes with charts to chart your all the different methods within the fertility awareness method. So I'll link that down below because it's a fantastic site. I recommend looking at it, and I think it can even potentially mean that I don't need to buy the Taking Charge of Your Fertility book, but I will link that down below as well, where you can buy that book. I don't have it, but I believe it's fantastic. So that's my implant story. I hope that I answered your questions. If you have any further questions, just leave a comment down below and I will reply back to you as soon as I can. So I'm definitely getting it removed within the next month, so I will make a video about that and all the things associated with rebalancing my hormones, supplements, and all things like that. So if you want to see that video, give it a thumbs up, and thank you for watching. Bye guys!